So today we want to do a quick video to cover why you'd want to do a burn test on your fabric and how to go about doing a burn test on your fabric. This is a whole stash or part of a stash of fabrics that was actually gifted to me, and for the most part I don't know what these are or what is contained within them. And one of the easiest ways to discover that is by doing a burn test. We also recently posted an article on soyoumagazine.com about eco-bricks. And the number one rule of eco-bricking, and if you want to find out more, visit our website, is that you should only put synthetics and non-recyclables within the eco-brick because you don't want it to biodegrade from the inside out. So you also want to make sure you only put synthetic fabrics in, and by doing a burn test you'll know if a fabric or a thread should be put inside your eco brick or not. So visit soyoumagazine.com to read more about that article on what to do with eco bricks. Firstly, you need a candle. You don't want to burn directly from a match or a lighter. Tweezers to be able to safely handle your fabrics while they are burning. I highly recommend a lighter to use to light your candle. You do not want to be holding a match or a lighter while you're burning your fabric because that'll actually be quite a serious fire hazard for you. You want to light the candle and have the flame separate so you're not holding. And something like a foil tin to safely burn your fabrics inside of. Then you would want a variety of swatches of your different fabrics. And you don't want them to be too big. I wouldn't go more than an inch, but half an inch would be ideal. And that way, if you're burning a big piece of fabric, it becomes, the bigger the piece of fabric, the bigger the fire hazard of burning it. You don't want to have something that suddenly catches a light and you can't put it out. And just to be safe, some water for backup. When you're burning a fabric, there's a few things that play an important role. The first thing is, how does a fabric react when you move towards the flame? You see that caught fire straight away? That tells me this is a natural fabric. If it melts and pulls away, that tells me it's synthetic. But because it's burning like this so quickly, this tells me this is a natural fabric. It smells sort of very grassy-like, so it's very possible that this, that burns so quickly, is a linen type of fabric. And see if it's still hot. And you see that? That actually just turns directly to ash and crumbs. So that again is an indication that it's a natural fabric, most likely a linen. Funny enough, I did not expect that. I expected this to be a polycotton or a cotton. So that's quite an interesting reaction. Let's try it next. See how they pulled away? That immediately tells me this is a synthetic. You see, there's hardly any flame, it just melts. So you can imagine if you're wearing a natural fabric, how that will react. It'll just burn on your skin and burn off. To if you are wearing a synthetic, where it'll actually melt into your skin. So that's quite a hard, sticky bead. And it's hard for quite a bit. There isn't much crumbling at all. So because there isn't any crumbling at all, and it's quite hard, that tells me it's a completely synthetic fabric, more than likely a polyester, and that there's no natural fabrics in there at all. Okay, next up, this bright orange fabric. What could it be? And it just catches light. Look how beautifully that burns. Now, as it's burning, I actually get a waft of burning paper That tells me that this is a cotton, 100% cotton. Look how quickly that burns out. It just becomes ash. And eventually this will burn away to almost nothing. And that's one of the traits of a cotton. It leaves very, very, very little trace behind. So now this I know is actually mini mat, and I know for a fact that mini mat is 100% polyester, but I wanted to add this to show you how it burns. See how it pulls away? Now this is one of the few polyesters that's actually medically approved because it can stand higher heats than some of the other fabrics. Okay, and that's mini mat, 100% polyester. Synthetics usually have a very chemical smell that kind of lingers for quite a while after you burn it. Now this one I know is a type of suiting, but there's quite a variety of different types of suiting. Some are natural wool, some are linens, and some are synthetics. So depending on how this one burns will tell me what is in them. And a lot of these actually have a number of different blends. So this is burning quite quickly. And it's melting to a hard bead, so it tells me there is some synthetic in this. Do you see how that burns? That is quite the burn. It's burning for a while, so this actually tells me that there's a possible wool blend in this. Because wool will also burn like that. So it could be a synthetic wool blend. And look at that, it actually crumbles. Wow, that crumbles, so it's quite soft, so there's a lot more natural fibers in that than there are synthetic. That's quite interesting. That could be a very good wool blend, natural wool blend suiting. This one I'm not too sure. It could be either cotton or polycotton, but let's have a look. See how it burns straight away? It's definitely natural. So this is your, probably something a quilter would use, 100% cotton. Look how well that's burning. See, it doesn't burn as ferociously as the wool does. But again, it's almost nothing. You see that? It's burnt away to almost nothing. And that's a very typical trait of a cotton. Now this is a very sort of Georgette-like fabric. Georgette is almost like a very thick chiffon. Georgette is traditionally made out of a silk, but there are a lot of synthetic Georgettes out there because they print much more easily. So let's have a look and see what is in this one. It pulled away, see that? So this tells me it's a synthetic, probably a polyester blend. See how it's melting? Let's check that. We're all sticky, we're not breaking, we're not cramming. Nope, we're definitely a synthetic. A hard, sticky, plasticky beads. So that's a synthetic Georgette type fabric. And last but not least, another common one, chiffon. I just added this one in for you to see how it's going to burn. Chiffon pulls away, definitely synthetic. It's actually though one of the reasons why, even though it's a very light and thin fabric, it's very hot to wear because it is a synthetic. And look how that just melts. Actually, it melted very similar to the Georgette. So they're both very synthetic fabrics. And oh, you have a very strong chemical smell from that one, I have to say. So the Georgette and the chiffon are definitely, look at that. Look, definitely synthetic. Look at that. So the moral of the story is it seems half our fabrics are synthetic and some are a few unexpected natural fabrics, which is awesome. For a full breakdown of fabrics, what they smell like and how they burn, visit our article on sewyouMagazine.com, and I will leave the link for you in the description below.